Patrick Lancaster is a journalist on the ground.
See,
so is Eva Bartlett. So is Graham Phillips. All of them, Graham Phillips, Eva Bartlett are more on the anti-war left. Patrick Lancaster has no apparent political bent that I can tell. And there you can get on-the-ground journalism. You can still get it from Gonzalo Lira. What has been confirmed is what happened with Gonzalo Lira happened to hundreds of other people in Kharkov that same weekend, because they decided, the Ukrainian Special Security Forces decided to film it and show it to Western media because they were proud of it. They're talking to this little old guy about how they're arresting him with 8 guys with big guns because of his social media posts.
So this is
social media.
I'm going to get this. This was an Associated Press piece that Jack Posobiec tweeted earlier. It's a 4.5-minute piece. I'm so, what's the word? Not gun shy, but I'm so afraid of retweeting something that might not be accurate, because this is an Associated, it purports to be an Associated Press piece, and I think it is. And it's 4.5 minutes of showing that the Ukrainian forces are going around arresting people who are posting pro-Russia or anti-Ukraine social media posts. And
some of them are old people. They're like really old. These are not saboteurs. And you see some of these fake right-wingers like that idiot Shipwrecked crew. Again, never hire a lawyer who goes by the name Shipwreck. Probably not a good idea. He was out there. Well, it's martial law. You can violate all civil liberties during martial law. Do you want a guy like that defending you in a January 6th case when he's celebrating the violation of core civil liberties and civil rights in Ukraine? You think he's really going to fight for you? This is the guy that covered for a lot of corruption over the past half decade. Kept saying that I had some false incentive by questioning the great Amy Coney Barrett and how great she was going to be. That's some of the people on the right. As to why does Biden, this will be a good bridge into the Ministry of Truth. Why is Biden putting a ministry of, against disinformation out there right now and using a person deeply embedded and connected to all the Ukrainian politics to do it? Because they're doing what they're doing in Ukraine to create as an example to do here. I mean, think about it. What's the mindset of Ukrainian secret services? Imagine if the KGB during Beria had the local Russian media follow them around when they did their various purges, Stalin purges. That's what the Ukrainian secret forces did. They were proud of this. They were proud. And you see some of these people they're interviewing, they're old people. You have a guy's old wife begging for him not to be taken away, and they're proud of it. That's everybody, Sebastian the Swamp Gorka, Mark Fake, constitutional lawyer Levine. These people should be ashamed of what they have supported and subscribed to.
Here, Robert, I'm going to bring this up. This is part of it. This is. He posted a tweet that said, the Ukrainian flag is a rag, I think he said.
Yeah. And they're showing it to him. I mean, look at this. Look at these guys. I mean, this is secret. Look at that guy. That's a little old guy in a T-shirt.
All will be in accordance with Ukrainian law. They're showing the social media posts.
Of course, because Ukrainian law allows them to lock people up for 15 plus years for voicing dissent.
He said the rag is a symbol of death, referring to the Ukrainian flag.
That's because in Kharkov, that's what happened. After the coup happened in 2014, the U.S. sponsored Maidan coup, Kharkov wanted to separate because the president that they had elected had just been kicked out illegally. And they wanted to create their own separate republic and not be part of this coup government. So what did Ukraine do? Kolomoisky, I can't even do his name. That's a whole nother hush-hush story, that guy. One of the oligarchs, but that helped put Zelensky in power, now is hiding out on the lam because he tried to go AWOL from the deep state. But again, that's a hush-hush story for vivabarneslaw.locals.com. But is Kharkov tried to rebel, and what did they do? They sent in people to disappear people, whack people, massive civil rights violations, shelled the residences and neighborhoods. That's why, for example, right now they're taking video footage from kids who are hiding out in basements in 2015 in Donbass, and they're pretending that's happening in Kharkov from Russian bombing, which is actually not happening in Kharkov at all. And so you get a sense of it, But and you have the fact that as I broke down on a bourbon with Barnes at vivabarneslaw.logos.com.
Oh, Robert, you're doing it on purpose now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, force everybody to drink. is that General Milley and our military deliberately lied when they said that Russia could win this in 72 hours. You have a country that's 1,000 kilometers from east to west, 500 kilometers from north to south. You have a border. The borders of the current conflict in just the eastern southern sections are as far as Chicago to Memphis, as far as Chicago to New York, as far as New York to North Carolina. That's the scope and scale. Russia has already occupied a region of Ukraine that's bigger than the entire United Kingdom. So that gives a sense of the scale of the conflict. This was going to be an extended, prolonged conflict, especially with Russia committing to not targeting civilian infrastructure, to trying to encourage, basically, unfortunately, they incentivize Ukraine to use civilians as shields, as has happened in Azovstal and other places, at the steel factory and elsewhere in Mariupol and throughout Ukraine. But there is confirmation on the Gonzalo Lira story that some people had questioned. Yep. The fact that actually he was, what this AP story confirms, he was one of the 400. They don't mention him in specifically, but he was part of this. Clearly, this they went around and grabbed about 400, 500 people, according to the story, hundreds of people, filmed them, and solely because of they were posting things they didn't like. That's it. That was it. None of these people, no evidence that they were actually providing material aid to Russia. None of that. Even though, again, in Kharkiv, heavy Russian population there that is aligned more in that direct and sought independence after the coup of 2014. That's why they're targeting him to shut him up.